Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
I'm sorry if there is some music going on because the carnival has begun. Okay, so you can actually do a little bit of shaking before we start with this final session. Goa has erupted into a very happy celebratory mood, and so has we, or we are one session. So let's welcome our speakers. We have Nasir, we have Dr. Denise, we have Dr. Amruta, two doctors in the panel, and let's see if Ankita could join us also for the same. Uh, the panel is all about spirituality and health. So let's start with our first speaker, Nasir, who's a tech consultant and a very senior tech consultant, and is with Heartfulness Foundation for the last 16 years as a trainer. Uh, I had a wonderful talk with him yesterday, and the essence that I heard from him was that uh, the the whole aspect of spirituality is, according to him, balance. So we always do a lot of things in the exterior to balance our life. We do very little within ourselves to bring out the balance in our life. So he said balance is very, very important. And he's going to talk on a topic called a living guide to help in spiritual evolvement, in evolution or spiritual advancement. So, with that brief introduction, let me welcome Nasir. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasant. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It was nice listening to all of you. Actually, I was thinking it would be a very, a formal type of a talk, but everybody was, they were very open and very nice little talks from all. So, taking this thing forward, my name is Nasir. I entered into spirituality in 2004. Like, I used to always wonder, again, backlog of sufferings and all used to make me think, make me more aware about religions. I used to believe that everybody, whoever is in whatever religion, when you're brought up in that, it is natural for you to feel a self of belonging to it. So everybody in whatever religion they belong, it was natural for them to support their own religion. So I believe that there has to be a middle truth somewhere. So when everybody is right, there has to be a middle truth. So I used to look for that truth. Then slowly I used to start asking questions. Just like that, in thin air. I used to ask the questions, I used to sit down. Then suddenly I used to get the answers. Maybe in 15 days, sometime in 1 month, sometime in 2 months. The answers used to come in the form of I'm reading a paper article and the answer is there. Or two friends are talking and I'm just standing and listening and the answer is given by one of them. Sometimes a little child is coming and telling and I'm getting the answer. Sometimes I'm just driving a bike and suddenly the answer is coming. So slowly all the questions started getting answers. So I started becoming so confident that I used to ask a question and go to sleep. And I was sure the answer will come. And it used to come. So answering this question answer sessions, I became very confident about the things that I built in my mind. Along with that came arrogance also, arrogance of knowledge. So being into auditing accounting circle, I came across a person whose accounts I was auditing. He came down from Nasik. So we used to have the spiritual discussions with him. So he said, no matter how much ever you gain knowledge on your own, there is a limit. You need a guru. Again, arrogance in me. I brushed his talks aside, didn't listen to him. Next year came. Again, I was doing his audit. Again, the same talks. Again, he said the same thing. Again, that, the ego in me was not allowing to listen. No, I'm getting the answers. I don't require anybody else. Then one day I was watching this Kaun Banega Karodpati. In that, the first Karodpati, his name was Harshvardhan Nawate. He was very intelligent person. And then in one of his interviews, he said he has a guru. That shook me. Such an intelligent person and he's having a guru. That started, clicking, like we require a guide. And then I started searching. Literally, I started searching, where can I find my guru? So whichever client is to come to my office, I used to ask them, can you direct me to a guru who can help me into spirituality? Some used to give vague answers, some used to give correct answers. But one person told me, you keep searching. When your time comes, your guru will come. For 3 years, I searched. I actually searched. And this books used to guide me. I read this book called Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. The three books which I read, in that the essence was only this: the goal of our life is the realization of God, and the way to is it meditation. Again, now who is going to teach me this meditation? Who is going to my guru? This craving built up so much that I used to get up at 5 o'clock, and the one voice is to tell from inside me, Nasir, you have slept enough, meditate. I used to sit for meditation on my own without knowing how to meditate. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and slowly looking at my this search, my partner brought some books and three on my table. He said our society chairman has some extra books that were these books relating to heartfulness. When I read that, I said, yes, this person is going to be my guru, because I could, connect with it. But now I have to see his face. I didn't want that traditional type and all, I wanted somebody with whom I could resonate with. So I want to see his face. Then 2 days, 3 days later, that person who has given the book came and said, that person is coming here. If you want to meet him, you can come. I just went casually, thinking that, he comes every now and then. I came to know later on that this is the first time his flight got cancelled somewhere and he reached here. And that wording which says, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. Nature creates that environment when the teacher will come. He came, he said, he gave a brief talk with which I could relate to. He said, close the eyes, start meditation. I got my first meditation through my guru. So again, ego was there. Now I have entered. Now whatever he said I have to do, I was doing, but resistance was there. My ego was so strong, it was, not allowing me to do everything properly. So I used to question everything. Side by side, I used to practice whatever he was telling me. He used to say, meditate, meditate. He used to say, do the cleaning. I used to do the cleaning. But lot of questions. Slowly, like as the time passed by, the ego started going down, learned a lot through his books. And, 16 years later on, I can now very confidently say, I don't know anything. Because this field is such, whatever you know is so little, so little. The things that you don't know is so much. It never, in any given point of time, can we ever say that I know. So with this I don't knownness, it might sound apparent paradox. I'm sharing what little has fallen in my pocket. So when I came to this system, a very important thing I learned, how to, know who is your real guru. In this book, it was written, the gurus are of three types. One can be compared to the hen, which lays eggs and goes away and sits on it, to keep physical contact. So the other level of guru is like a fish, which lays eggs and swims around, but needs eye contact. And third level of guru is like a turtle, which lays the eggs and goes into the deep sea and keeps mental contact. So third is the highest level of guru. Try to find such a one. So this way I continued my journey. So coming back to the system, we would like Dr. Yugandhar and some other speakers spoke very well about our, past sufferings and samskaras. In this system, it was called samskaras or impressions. Anything that we constantly see and do leaves impressions in our heart. These impressions we carry even from our past lives. Like in Gita, Lord Krishna says, the soul changes its bodies like we change clothes. Now, the reason why we are born is that only to, exhaust the sanskaras that we have brought with us. And nature creates this environment around us of sufferings and the people around us who will give us suffering and everything so that we can exhaust these sanskaras. But the problem is we don't end up exhausting this and we end up adding more to come back again. So what is the solution for this? So here in Heartfulness, there was a system called cleaning. Every day evening, there is a half an hour cleaning which are supposed to do. So when I asked the question what this was, it is the cleaning of these sanskaras itself. So how do we clean these sanskaras? The description was given that the sanskaras are of three types. The first one is called mala. Mala is like dusting the TV. You dust the TV today, you have to dust it again today. That level of cleaning is to be done by us, by the technique taught by them. The second level of samskaras is cleaned by, they are called vikshep in Sanskrit. This is like, they require a little brushing, cannot be cleaned on our own. This level of cleaning is done by the trainers in Heartfulness. And the third level of cleaning is called avarna. Avarna is like those sanskaras deep rooted, maybe related to even past lives. Like, coconut we peel and remove. That level of cleaning is done by the guide. So this three level of cleaning I understood was so very important for our spiritual progress. Then after this cleaning, what happens? is our soul is in the background and our ego is in the front. Now, Nasir is like a personality, like an ego which is talking, but the real thing, real me is behind, within. Now, how do we get it out? In this system, there is something called transmission. So through transmission, continuously, like, the water is flowing and, this thing blooms out. So by practicing these two systems, slowly we come to our, soul consciousness that we all talk about. So thank you all for patient listening. I think 1 minute was remaining, so I had to cut off short. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nasir. That was a very sweet talk, right from your heart, and we could really be with you during that entire talk. And thank you so much for keeping the time. And yes, you didn't even take 10 minutes, but it was really beautiful. Thank you. Our next speaker is Dr. Denise.
Basant will just present his certificate.
Oh, sure. We'll do that.
So, Mr. Nasir, I think you can see the certificate presented by the World United for being a speaker at the VR1 Summit Goa today. So we thank you for joining, and definitely share your contacts and what you do on our WhatsApp group. Maybe some people will benefit if they want to meditate with you and things like that.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you.
Stay in touch with us. Next time we are doing a South Goa conclave, because it will be district level next time.
Okay.
So I've sent the links on the Zoom chat, and I've sent it on the main group also. So you can be part of wherever is applicable for you, North Goa, South Goa. And the same goes for everyone. So thank you, Nasir. And Vasant, please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Floyd. So I'll give a quick introduction to Dr. Denise. I know Dr. Denise through our networking group that we have in Goa called the BNI, but it's also very heartwarming to know her as one of the pioneers, one of the leaders who are always ready to take up challenges. And I really mean it, I really mean it. Love the way you moderated the sessions today. She's a dedicated homeopath with a gold medal from the Goa University. She has a clinic called Evolve Homeopathic Clinic, and she believes in integrated faith-filled holistic well-being through her homeopathy, through her treating practices. What I could get the essence when I was talking to her is that she believes that everything connects from your heart. So if your heart is at peace, then definitely it will transform in your body, and you will feel the healing happening very quickly. So she has a very faith enriched way of looking at homeopathy, or looking at a holistic way in which you can treat a patient. Helping people to be their best is her motto, and is her vision, which can be a global vision for everyone. So that is so beautiful. And today's topic for her is energy medicine and faith-filled journey to holistic wellness. With that, I welcome Dr. Denise. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasant, for that lovely introduction. It is indeed such a blessing to be speaking once again at the VR1 Summit by the World United. So I would like to speak about my journey in spirituality. So it started when I was really young. Okay, when I was in class 6, all of 10. Some issues at home made us, really fall to our knees and ask God, what is actually going on? At that time, it was just parents pushing into it. Okay, it was just, maybe just go to church, sit in the Blessed Sacrament, and I didn't make much of it. The real shift was in the Mumbai floods, 2005, when I was lost. First time in train, all alone, 24 hours, didn't return home when I was stuck. And that is the time I actually experienced God's grace and blessing, because I call that my second birth. Not having friends that day to return back home, and just being with a total stranger, one lady who took me home, reached me right up to my home, told me where she stays, and we never found her after that. I think that was the shift which made me believe that okay, there is somebody watching over me. Now, that was just when I was in class 11. I had already decided by then that I want to become a doctor and I want to do what I'm called for. That incident imprinted upon me that I wanted to do something for God's people. Now, my topic here and this panel that we are speaking on is spirituality and health. My first question to you is, do you want to be healed? And I'm sure that there will be not one person here who will say no. When we look around today, what we witness and see all around us is brokenness. Each of us are wounded in some way or the other, even me for that matter. And we all require healing, be it physical, emotional, or spiritual. And every day is that journey to know yourself better in what area of your life you need that healing. Today, we are gathered here on this platform to bring about unity consciousness. When will this unity consciousness and feeling of oneness come within? Will it come when somebody tells you, oh, we need to be united and do something to make a difference? No. It will come when your mind, body, and spirit is aligned. When we operate from a space of love, once we become aware of our being and undertake the journey of healing, that is when we will truly be able to experience the feeling of oneness and unity. Now, as a homeopath and into holistic healing, we believe that every human being is an expression of energy. And this energy is released from divine consciousness. God has thought about us and made us, each and every one of us, me, you, all of us in his image and likeness. Flowing into us, that energy of God flows into us as we express it in our own unique way. Now, during my 2.5 hours of consultation, what I do is I try to understand the unique way a person experiences this God-gifted energy from the divine consciousness made in his image and likeness, and then prescribe a remedy accordingly. After all, we all know what holistic healing is all about. We've been learning it and we've been listening to it the entire day. It is a balance between the mind, body, and spirit. And I resonate with a verse from the Bible, Proverbs 14:30, which says, a peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. I'll say that again. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Because when we are at peace with our being, when we are at peace with ourselves and in our hearts, we will be perfectly healthy. Now, I believe that acknowledgement, vulnerability, and surrender is essential to healing. When we acknowledge that, yes, I do have a problem. I am struggling with my emotions, or I'm struggling. I'm having a chronic headache. I do have a problem. I am struggling to manage my life. When we acknowledge that, that is the first step you take towards healing. We must be vulnerable then to allow ourselves to receive that help and be healed. It will come to the form of doctors or people who will actually guide you for your good, and then surrender to the Almighty. Because what is life if we don't surrender to the miracles that the Creator has in store for us? How does faith come into the picture here? Like I said, we are all made in God's image and likeness, and we are His. So it is a given that God desires our healing. And many a times we face a block. We wonder, why do we face that block? Because at that minute, we are not able to trust that, yes, once we surrender, once we let go the need of control, once we let go the need that only I can take care of it, we open ourselves to a channel from higher healing. And this is where faith comes in, because this helps us get through those challenges. When extended trials press on us, we can falter and lose heart and ask God, why me? And I really resonate with Anup Kumarji's talk today when we ask, why me? Because when external challenges don't happen to us, how can we grow? How can that healing come to us when we do not go through that phase? Like, I remember when I was stuck in the floods in 2005 and didn't return home for a night, no friends, all cell phone towers were blocked. My dad thought I died. Like, he really thought I died. And I witnessed death very closely, because I saw people falling into the drains in front of me, in locked cars the next morning, animals dead on the street. It's very traumatic till date. To those of you who like monsoons, no offense to that, but I dread the monsoons till date, because it was a very traumatic experience for me. But had that not happened, I would not be on this journey to actually being a conduit to helping people face their fears, face their trauma. Because when these trials press on us, that is when we open up ourselves to what God has in store for us. And if we can't hear God speak or feel his comfort, it can at times leave us questioning, why are we abandoned? Where was he when I needed him? And does he really love me if he's letting me go through this? But even in these little moments of faith, God does not hesitate to extend his hand to help us and pick us up. He desires to know your voice because there is power in the weakest of pleas. Now that night, okay, being all of just 15 years old at that point of time, I didn't know where to turn to. I mean, I waded through chest deep water and I was just like, oh my God, am I going to die? Am I going to reach home? All I knew is my train stuck between two stations, Mahim and Matunga. And I knew there was a church nearby. And I just said, God, Mother Mary, just reach me home safely. Luckily, it was a lady who reached me home safely. I always wonder, that was so angelic. So when we struggle, I believe that when we struggle to make a breakthrough with our illnesses, God desires our total surrender. These trials come into our lives, heartbreaks happen in our lives to help us to acknowledge that there is indeed a power above us who's taking care of it all. We don't have to figure it all out ourselves, rather humble ourselves to be blessed with the grace to be guided in the right manner. Whatever areas we struggle with, we need to surrender because healing is a gift of God. And we don't have to struggle for a gift and blessing that is always meant to be ours. We've been given the stewardship of our body. It's our body. The body is the temple of God, and we are given the ownership to take care of it by nourishing it with the right food and taking steps to holistically improve our lives. We have to be mindful and will be blessed abundantly because after all, we are made in his image and likeness. Healing, therefore, is an invitation to be vulnerable, to open our wounds to the mighty healer and truly work with his grace and the light to attain complete cure and health. That is the balance in mind, body, and spirit. I believe that our journey to evolving is a never-ending process. Healing is a never-ending and ever-deepening process, and we go through it, I think, till the day we pass on to the next phase of our life. I would like to end this from a small excerpt from a book, Breathing Underwater, Spirituality and the 12 Steps by Richard Rohr. And I would like to quote, to finally surrender ourselves to healing, we must have 3 spaces opened within us and all at the same time. Our opinionated head, a closed down heart, and a defensive and defended body. I'll read that again. To finally surrender ourselves to healing, we must have 3 spaces opened within us and all at the same time. Our opinionated head, a closed down heart, and a defensive and defended body. That is the work of spirituality, and it is work. Yes, it is finally the work of a power greater than ourselves, and it will lead to great luminosity and depth of seeing. That is why true faith is one of the most holistic and free actions a human can perform. We just have to have that faith to surrender, to allow that grace to work in our lives. It leads to such broad and deep perception that most traditions would just call it light. And the Bible beautifully says, remember, Jesus said that we are also the light of the world in Matthew 5:14. And I would like to end with another quote, with another verse from the Bible, Romans 8:28. I'm deeply spiritual, like I say. And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Faith and trusting in God's providence must always fill our hearts in front of every challenge. I truly, truly believe in this, and I resonate so deeply with it. And, when today patients come to me, they say, we see your post, you're very spiritual. Can you pray? And believing that I'm a conduit, I treat and he cures. There are really few patients who don't really respond to the treatment that I provide. It's most of them who just come to me and say, thank you for praying for me. Thank you for keeping me in mind. And that's the energy I give out. And I'm so happy and blessed to be doing what I am called to do, which gives me a greater purpose. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Denise. That was really, really beautiful. And I would like to say that when you do things with authenticity, with your heart in it, that itself is a prayer. So your patients, the people who trust you are right. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that, we would like to present the certificate to you on behalf of the World United. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so that brings us to our third speaker for the spirituality and health panel. We have amongst us another homeopathy doctor, and also from the same college, Dr. Amruta Hede. I believe she's a fantastic homeopathy doctor, a holistic healer. That's what she likes herself to be called. She loves to use different modalities along with homeopathy in treating a person, like yoga, counseling, pranayama, art, music, and other therapies. She says she's always curious about spirituality, and that's how she kind of puts herself in situations where she can learn and ask questions and have a discourse. I personally enjoy sharing a lot of stuff with her on spirituality, but at the same time, I know she's a powerhouse of energy, and she inspires me a lot with all that she does besides besides doing homeopathy. Today she's going to speak on unveiling the delusion, the other song through homeopathy. That's her topic. She would elaborate that. With that brief introduction, let me welcome Dr. Amrita Hede. Thank you.
Amrita, just try to make an eye contact with the camera because it's slightly off, so your recording will not come well. And just bring it to the eye level somehow. Take your time if you have to. Just unmute yourself and you can start.
Yes. Is this okay?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Vasant, for the introduction. And yeah, I attended the whole day. It was interesting to hear different speakers. I think we all are talking the same language and trying to convey it through different means. So I'm trying to convey something which I have learned through the language of homeopathy. And I hope you guys are with me. Okay, so how I started my journey, I actually don't know where it started and how I'm in it, but when I even entered homeopathy, I had no idea what I'm getting into. It was just a medical line for me, and I knew I wanted something in science maybe. So for the first time, when I learned the whole theory and the concept of holistic treatment, it was like so surprising, because so far I had only known treating the part, and homeopathy is a branch which spoke about treating the whole human, which has a body and a mind and a spirit, which was completely a new concept altogether. And I think somewhere this understanding triggered something within. I really do want to feel that way. So trying to understand a patient or any other human being, understanding the body and the mind together. Initially in the practice also, understanding the mind was just like to know the symptoms superficially. But as I am with the pathy, also met a new school of homeopathy. It's called the Other Song, which is also my topic actually, where Dr. Rajan Sankaran, a very senior homeopath, he has put this idea that, there is this one common song which we all have. Maybe it is the universal song, and there's the other song, that is the human song, which we all have as a different personalities and individualities. So how a homeopath understand these other songs and try to treat. So in this journey, trying to understand this other song, I'll just tell you a small example. For example, understanding a person's journey, we take the person on a whole mental study. It's like a self-study where they share about themselves. And we understand there's something called as core delusion. A fixed idea, maybe everybody lives by that, and it is different to every person, for every individual. For example, let's take three areas, maybe childhood, love, relationship, and maybe work. Three important areas, or childhood, or relationship, and work. So somebody who maybe has this feeling of being not good enough, maybe a middle child, and if they have this feeling of not being good enough, the same delusion gets carried away. So in a relationship, for example, if there's a breakup tomorrow, the whole feeling comes as I'm not good enough. Again, in further in life, if there is a promotion of another guy over them, or they are not promoted, again the same feeling that I'm not good enough. Are you with me? So the same delusion is with you as you grow even in life, if you don't understand it. If somebody has another delusion, for example, maybe a kind of feeling of betrayal. So again, in the childhood, of feeling maybe, a betrayed, or betrayed by the parents, then in a relationship, maybe betrayed by the partner, and even maybe betrayed by the company. So the same delusion kind of goes on playing, and that's the other song that is playing in our mind. I'm telling the simple knowledge of this. What we do today in our practice is that just make this person, when a patient speaks, aware of this delusion. Just showing a mirror, and I tell you, people are so surprised to see this pattern within themselves, because for many of the people, they have never spoken so openly about themselves over their life experiences since childhood till now. And when they understand that even they have a pattern within which has been repeating, it comes like a shocker to them. And it changes something, it shifts something. So basically, in short, it's like, everybody's wearing specs with different glasses. Like my specs have blue glasses, so I see the world as a blue color, and your specs may be red, so you see the world and reality, your reality is red. And the problem is we are trying to compare. So I'm saying the world is blue and you're saying the world is red, and somebody is like, no, it's orange. So everybody's delusion is different. But when you see that, it helps you to know that this is not the only reality, and it helps something to shift within, and to understand this is a disease song and not maybe the core song which we should relate with. So something like this similarly happened with me. So many of the speakers spoke about being in a difficult time or going through traumatic situations, and every obstacle is an opportunity. I mean, this sounded so cool when you only read it. It never stucks you until it happens. And maybe it really happened with me, not in a very dramatic way, but somehow since a childhood I had this feeling, maybe of being not happy. You just have a feeling that you're not happy. There's no reason for that. Everything is perfect around you. The parents are perfect. You have perfect job, perfect relationship. But this discontented kind of feeling of being not happy, or maybe it's just unloved feeling, maybe. And then there was some episode which just triggered this. And again, a simple guide, I would like to say thanks to Talbot here. He heard me for like 1 hour. And what I did here, I just went through my childhood to this current chaos. And suddenly I saw my own delusion. That is the other song. I understood my pattern, how I have been doing the same things, repeating the same pattern, seeing the reality in my own way, in which need not be the reality, but it is just my perception of the reality. And this simple understanding and a desire to change from belief that I'm not happy, it was a choice to believe that I'm happy, and just everything changed. So I think on this spiritual journey, I hope through homeopathy, I can touch some lives, not in a big way, but somewhere even put that curiosity in a patient's mind who has never even thought about their mind and their patterns. Maybe, I feel it's a blessing that I can understand them better, or they can understand themselves better. And self-love, I think without that, you can't move ahead in life. I think many people spoke about self-love, and unless you connect with yourself, you'll speak about many things, but you will not be connected to anything. So I'm still here. I'm still in the self-love journey. And I believe, satsang, that what we are doing today, the right kind of people, the right kind of guides, the well-wishers around you will just keep on reminding you that you are on the same track. And third, very important point is sadhana. So whatever helps you to be on this track, the practices, it could be anything. For somebody, maybe just walk on the beach, for somebody painting, for somebody dancing, for somebody reading that spiritual book, for somebody chanting, anything that helps you. if we do it consistently, I think these are the means by which we will continue to be on the right track of self-discovery. And I'm still just started my journey, so I can't speak a lot, but I'm happy that I'm sharing this space with all of you. And I hope that we achieve whatever we are here for. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amrita. That was again bang on time, and at the same time straight from the heart. So I could connect to everything that you were saying, irrespective of the fact that we share a sibling bond. And this is your certificate. Thank you so much for your time, for your energy, and being part of us. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Lord, we are doing good on time. It's 5:20. We have the last speaker.
We have only 10 minutes now. So I think Ankita is the last speaker, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Ankita,
fine. So
are you in?
Yeah.
Ready,
So we'll
right?
wind up with Ankita. After Ankita, immediately we'll go for the valediction ceremony. After a brief discussion, we'll move into valediction. Okay?
Sure. So give a very, very brief introduction to Ankita. She's an IT professional, works with Oracle, loves people. She was open enough to share that she had a lot of health challenges when she was young, things like sugar and hypertension, which made her go back to her inner self and kind of find cure for her own self. And that gave her a lot of empowerment so that she can reach out to more people and help them become better at health. She connects deeply to Bhagavad Gita, and she believes that there is a supreme soul, and we intuitively feels that there is a supreme soul and we are all part of it. Today she's going to talk on spirituality and youth health because she loves connecting with youth. Ankita, it's been a pleasure knowing you. Over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Vasanta, for a brief introduction. Yeah, as a professional, I am an IT professional. I mean, I'm a software developer, and I do wellness coaching also out of my love for health and wellness. So what we basically do over there is, people whoever are suffering from health ailments and like weight gain or thyroid or hypertension or any of this thing, we help them over there, okay, to gain their health without any medication, like without any chemically induced medication, with just some lifestyle changes. So when I was young, so that time, like I faced a lot. When I got out of college, I got into IT profession, and definitely like whoever are engineers over here, they might able to connect with me. Life is really stressful at that point of time. You don't get to know whether you're on a right path. Your friends are doing something. You always have that tendency to compare yourself with your friends or what they are doing, whether you are doing good or not. Lot of self-doubt, lot of low in confidence you feel whenever at that point of age. And I was just googling like what is the age for youth. US defines it as 15 to 25, and then India says we can then I was of youth. But yeah, at heart I am still that kid who loves to explore, who wants to do many things. And then like how a child is, even if someone scores, I will be like, okay, I'm ready to learn at that point. So that is the thing. When it comes to spirituality, yeah, I faced a lot of challenges with respect to my health also. So my spirituality and health journey both started hand in hand. Initially, like when I started working on my health, that is the time, like I started following diet and then exercise regime and all those things, like keeping into mind stress and sleep also. Okay, so what I feel is where most of the time today's youth, they are stuck at. Reason number one is again the comparison, or they just want to show off. Like for example, many of the youth over here, they want to go for either iPhone or MacBook or car or bike, like higher validation things. They don't, I mean, it is just like the materialistic comparison, wherein just they want to show off. The reason behind that is nothing, but it is just, like how superior I am. That is what most of the youth. And it is like, there is no proper association. I would say proper association in the sense, it is not like, if I give you the example of the association, it is in the nature. Okay, like for example, if you say Spain is famous for tomatoes, okay, like why it is famous for tomatoes? Like obviously a weather over there and environment over there, it is very much comfortable for the tomatoes to breed and to flourish and to give that juicy texture to the tomatoes. But if you see even the average tomatoes in the Spain, it tastes better compared to any other region in the world. Okay, so the reason behind that is, since that association is there, every tomato strives to become better and better and better of itself, so that is the thing. So same thing when it comes to human being, like when we have a proper association, when we have a proper people around us, we try to become an average of those people. So that's why whenever we are thinking of being connected with someone, we should consciously know to him, we should consciously know to whom we are connecting with, and to whom we are associating with, because that largely defines our future, and like how succeeding we will be. So same thing happened with me also. When I was in the right association, one of my spirituality guru, he told me, Ankita, when you have any problem, just go to Bhagavad Gita, read any of the page, like you can just open the page and you can relate to the life process and what is happening to you. So that was one of the things wherein I could relate very well myself, and I could seek my answer and get my answers to any of the problem whichever I was suffering through. And I think each and everyone, even every person over here, they spoke very well about depression and all the aspects. So I'll not touch to that part. But yeah, I would always say, whenever we are going through any of the health issues or any of the mental health issues or physical health, know whom you are asking your answers to. Like it should be a proper person. It shouldn't be like, supposing say you are having a mental health issue and you are asking some a carpenter or a plumber. They might not know any of the thing, right, about that. I mean, we should always ask to the right person. So same way, like even when I was going through, when I asked some of my friends, they were like, no, nothing. It is just, in your head, wherever you're feeling that, you're blocked or you're stuck. But like you should know whom you are asking to. So that is one of the thing. And yeah, I think right association and reaching to right people is very, very important. So that would be my message. And coming back to the spirituality, it is you will get always people either to teach you or to learn from them. Okay, either to give you a knowledge or to learn like what not to do. So that is what I highly feel. That is the thing. Like whoever a person or people I meet, either I learn from them what not to do, or either I get a lot of knowledge how to be. So that's what like make me the person today I am. And with that, I would like to end and not take more of the time, because already I think each and every one of us, we are sitting from morning. So yeah, that with that I would like to conclude. Thank you.
You have 2 more minutes, Ankita. If you don't have to, if you have to add something, please go ahead.
It's fine. I'm done almost with all my pointers. So yeah, we can go ahead with the remains.
Thank you. I always remembered Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara when I thought of tomatoes, but you gave me a better reason to think about tomatoes, that the right association linked to it. Fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It's going to remain with me. So let's jump into the panel discussion. Floyd? Oh, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. Ankita, this is a certificate from the World United to you. Well done. And especially we have mentioned in the group, but you did such a fabulous job of designing all the promotional material. It was so much of hard work, and you were there at every day sending all those messages in the group. Man, I bow down to you. Great job, yeah. Great job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So friends, thank you so much. Vasant, can you hear me well?
Yes, over to you, Floyd.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, good. So everyone is here now, and we'll have a quick discussion on how we can take things forward after this WOW Summit, because that's the real challenge now. So It's not about what we did today. What we did, we can broadcast and we can share and we can, we can do this forever. But for the next 10 minutes, I want everyone who's here to speak for two minutes each and share how we wish to take this forward, how we can take this forward. Like Daryl is in environmental stuff, how he wishes to take that forward, and different people, will want to take things forward in a different way with the world united. And then we have a special guest, Mr. Andrew Pereira, who's a journalist, and he will also share a little bit about Goa and things like that with us. And after that, we'll have a winding conversation for gratitude by Dr. Yugandhar, and then we'll wind up the session. So it's been a long day, so we'll try to finish before 6 o'clock. I request everyone to be there. And if someone can post on the group also, it would be nice that we are discussing this. And if they can join us, it would be a nice end to the day. So I'll talk with all of you, and I'll request let's start with whoever is here. Let's start with Meenakshi ji. Meenakshi ji, I think you've woken up, you've risen. So we'll start with Meenakshi ji, how we can take this forward, and then all others can follow for 2 minutes each. Let's stick to the time, because unlike Meenakshi ji, all of us are exhausted after a full day of knowledge overdose. But definitely we'd like to hear from everyone and celebrate. And yeah, if someone wants to sing, someone wants to share a joke, that will also help our mood. Cheers. Go ahead, Meenakshi.
So speaking of knowledge overdose, I think, Floyd, that's one of the things which is so important, as Amrita also said, that to have a daily practice. I know that all of us feel that we are doing a lot, but if we just go into ourselves and just connect with that oneness, we get so much energy. Sometimes people ask me, the people around me, because they know all the things that I'm involved in, how do you do so much? And especially at my age, because people always get bothered about your age. And I say, I find that I have more energy today than I had when I was younger. And that's because I'm always there in the moment. And because the more you do with that awareness of the connection, the more energy you just keep getting. And you don't feel that you are doing a lot. You just feel that being. And what I feel we should do going forward is having regular meetings. Maybe, it is better. I know it's wonderful to meet physically, but if we can also keep meeting on Zoom, I would say once a month, and have an intention. One of the things which I'd proposed earlier and we were not able to do is to have regular intentions, very specific about what we are going to do, and then we'll keep seeing how we are going forward. I think you may be better at deciding what the intention will be, but these are intentions which are made in a group way. So each person gives their particular intention, and then we make a group intention and hold it for a month. That's my suggestion.
Very nice. Thank you, Meenakshi ji. Denise, go ahead if you want to share something.
So yes, like Meenakshi ji said, once a month we could meet over Zoom. But another thing is we want to have more co-creators on board. So if everyone, like each of us, could take the opportunity to invite a couple more people to join that Zoom call, maybe once a month, it would really help others to understand what we are doing. Because personally, when I try to get a couple of people on board, it was a bit of a challenge for me. But if they hear from somebody who's already, who has the entire idea, like Floyd, if they hear from you, it would be good, I feel. So every meet, maybe once a month, we could each take the chance and the opportunity to invite one or two people who we feel could be genuine co-creators as well. Yeah. That's it from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Denise. So the thing is that let's have a meeting soon after this, because whatever we've discussed here and whatever we want to do in future with regards to our councils, So first step, what I would say is the moment we finish this discussion, please go become a council member of the World United, because that is what is going to take forward. We always need a structure to do things. And it's a very simple structure. I'll repeat it again. Varun, Andrew will also like this idea, because 135 members at the country level, 135 members at state level, 135 members each at district level, then 135 members at taluka level. This is what we are building up to. But right now, I would say as a micro goal, we need 9 people to form the General Unity Council. And this General Unity Council is going to look after the activities for the state of Goa. And then we are also going to look after the district level summits that we are going to do. And along the way, we will learn a lot of things. So a lot of us here have already experienced this. A lot of us are already done this before. And some of us are doing this for the first time. But nonetheless, I think everyone agrees that it's a learning experience along the way. And somehow Daryl was part of this for a long time. He took a lot of initiative. Then Dr. Yugandhar was in touch with me for last 10 years. But somehow due to my low IQ, I couldn't understand what he was doing. But now suddenly, I felt that, if it keeps on coming to me that I should bump into Dr. Yugandhar, and if it keeps on coming to me that I should take this forward. So I took it seriously. I got 20-30 speakers for the GTF, which was the national level summit, 20-30 speakers from Goa. And then now for WOW Summit, from 2030, we became a big force with the help of Vasant, Amrita, with the help of Klizma and everyone, who contributed. And so having said that, if anyone else has any suggestions, like need not be what Meenakshi and Denise have said, but something of your own, you're most welcome to share.
I would like to say something. I mean, at least when people can physically meet, I feel that once a month online meeting is a must that we should do. I'm with Meenakshi ji, Denise, everybody who's suggesting that. But I also feel we have a space here. Floyd has been gracious enough to offer his space where I'm sitting at the moment, and calls it a meditation hub. So even for half an hour or 45 minutes, if people who are connecting to this, who are here today with us, if you can come and meet even once a month, but go through an experience together, I think that has got a lot of value. The physical connect makes that, because we have been doing our own practices, but when you come as a sangha, share a little bit of food and sit, do some meditation, and then have a snack or something, and have a chai and share a smile, I think it has a big impact. That's how we can connect. Otherwise, if you just come online and talk for one day, maybe the energy can fizzle out. So I request, and it's a deep urge from my end, because I know all of you want to connect with people. Let's connect more by meeting like this, once a month. You can decide on a date. Let's meet for half an hour. Let's keep it very small. Let's keep it for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, maximum 1 hour, so that we can go and do our things. It will not disturb our daily routine. But consciously, let's try and do that. I think it's very powerful. I truly feel it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vasant. Yeah, Neha, you want to say something?
Sir, I feel like even I've got many good speakers, but they were not from Goa. So in such case, like, how do I share, and on what purpose? Like currently this was restricted to Goan members, right?
Correct. So such speakers, we will add them to the main, World United group. I think you're on the World United India group. So you can add them to the India group, and whichever state has to pick them up, let them pick, because this is the first WOW Summit happening in India, because people from Goa have taken the initiative to do it. And some of us had to, last 3-4 days, we had to continuously work towards it. So it just doesn't happen, by connecting, it is
There
also
should be
important
Floyd
to
in
work
each
for.
state. Floyd, sir, in each state.
Sorry?
there should be a Floyd in each state. So then
Yeah,
only that initiative
no, I
happens.
think it's not about Floyd. It's just that, one has to feel, because as I said, it took me 10 years to understand this concept. And I can't expect people here to learn about it in 10 months or 10 days, It took me 10 years to understand. And since this kept on coming to me, I decided, let me once give it a try 100%. For me personally, I had two initiatives. One was called as Spiritual Goa, under which we organized around 50 workshops by different trainers from all over India between 2012 to 2015. That was a time when you were still in college. And so it was that time. And then after that, even Dr. Yugandhar came and gave a talk in Goa. After that, 2000, after 2018, I got a calling that we should create 1 lakh meditators in Goa, because meditation is something that, meditation or spiritual practices, when they happen, your consciousness level of the whole population is raised. It's not just, those people, but the whole population gets lifted. So that was another initiative which I had in my mind. And then I thought, now the World United has a structure. The other day we were talking about Lahiri Mahashai, who is the guru of, grand guru of Paramahansa Yoganand, if you can call that. And Lahiri Mahashai had drawn similar schematic diagrams, like the ones we are drawing right now, where there will be councils at each level. And this is what Dr. Yugandhar was sharing with me. And it is very interesting because, these kind of masters like Lahiri Mahashai, like Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, like Nikolai Tesla, have this vision of taking things to the grassroots level. And we've seen that anyone who's taken things to the grassroots level, they have grown. Even in your case, you might have seen how Ramdev Baba has grown, even at the grassroots levels. So it is very important that we do this. And what I'll suggest is that at the moment, we are not focusing on other states. Let's focus on Goa, and let's focus on how we can build a next summit for the districts, South Goa, North Goa. I hope some other people will take the lead, and let us create a council of 9 people now. Now that so many of us have met, let's create a council of 9 people which can get together and, bond. And as Vasant said, we can eat delicious food that is made by him. He's a very good chef. So he can make delicious food for us, and then we can sit and enjoy the meals and discuss. So that is the Goan spirit. And the other day I was telling Dr. Yugandhar also. So he said, don't worry, just chill. And whatever comes along the way, learn to enjoy your life, and at the same time enjoy this whole process. Don't focus too much on, don't be too number centric. Just enjoy the whole process of building this community. And definitely it's important to build a council. So Mr. Talbot, would you like to share some of your views? Mr. Varun, also I'll request, if you've been with us, to share a little bit about what you think how we should go forward. Amruta, go ahead. Anyone can unmute and go ahead.
Yes, Floyd, I think, meeting regularly would also physically would also bring a good dimension of, understanding each other, and, getting, trying to do some activities that we think are, of the need right now. That's important. Otherwise, if we don't focus on what is required right now in society, then we just become irrelevant to a lot of people, doing our own thing, what they will say. So that's important. Even if we have a half an hour, 1 hour meet, that we, come together and decide what can we do right now at this particular time on this planet, in our location, that will, help people with where they need, the help most, and of course, looking at it from this dimension, of more peace, love, harmony, cooperation, and trying to get a pulse of where people are actually asking for help. So yeah, if we have those kind of meets, and we kind of connect with those people, and serve them, and because through that service, I think when you become more relevant, then the connections grow. People start sharing with others as well. So yeah, I completely support that, and of course, online meeting also, whether it's once a month or once in 15 days. I'm very happy, with that idea also.
Thank you, Dr.
Welcome. Thank you.
I liked Vasant's suggestion, and I feel that this connect is good, that we meet and we take one step at a time and move forward together. I think this connect, when we meet again, we can push it to the next level. I personally feel it was a very good session today. And I liked that we were all on a common purpose. And I was touched by what Dr. Yugandhar said. He said that it is the concept that basically the oneness is the concept that we are all attracted to. And that is the thing that will take us forward. No? So in whatever way I can do, I will be there. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Talbot. Since we spoke about Dr. Yugandhar, I'll quickly play a short video which is sent for us for the Goa Wow. So I'll quickly try to share it and you'll watch it, and then we'll continue our discussions. And if anyone wants to sing or share something light also, you're welcome to do so, because we've been very serious all day. So just a minute. I'll share this. Share Dr. Yugandhar's video, which is sent to me on WhatsApp. Watson, just send me a yes once you start hearing it. So that was Dr. Yugandhar, member Global Councils, the World United. And the vision is very clear now to go on forming these councils. When we form these councils, it's not designated that we should do certain activity. We can do many different kinds of activities which come from our inspiration. And there is procedural diversity which we can adapt. We can have offline meetings if we like. We can do many things, in that collective format, because a lot of nice people are coming together. A lot of what I've noticed the other night I was thinking is that a lot of these, the last 2 nights I've not slept because I was thinking about, how this will move forward, what will happen, and things like that. So one of the thoughts which came to my mind is that a lot of the people who joined us as speakers, they've come on their spiritual journey in the last 4-5 years. Like I knew Neha, who was a student, Ankita was a student, and now suddenly they are, youth influencers. They are inspiring others to take up yoga, to take up wellness and things like that. So these are people who might be even less than 27, 28 years old. They've just entered their spiritual journey. And I think it's an amazing time. And we have a lot of people also from spirituality and health. Dr. Denise, Amruta, Varun Carvalho, a lot of us here are in the area of health. And I'll request Mr. Andrew, if he is there, to share a few words and share, how we can move forward if we want to take forward things like spirituality. Mr. Andrew has been a very proactive journalist. He's been of an investigative nature, been of activist nature. So also, we did not have anyone from the media fraternity as such. So we have a wing of the World United called as Spirituality and Media. So Andrew, what is the best way to reach people in general with initiatives like this, and what has been your observations? If you can share a little bit, we would be grateful.
Yeah, thanks, Floyd. So I just briefly joined you on for this session. And as you pointed out, it took you 10 years to figure out what you wanted to do about it. I've been here for just 10 minutes. Well, so far, I think what you guys are doing is the best way forward. Social media is the only way forward today. I come from a traditional background of print media. And as far as getting articles written, I really don't know how far y'all could reach through that today. But maybe there would be some serious spirituality seekers who still read the newspapers. Maybe they are from the older generations, who are not who still don't have access to social media. So yes, maybe trying to write an article on the newspapers, approaching the editors, and one of you write something on this, that could reach to a certain segment of Goans who are spiritual but who still are not tech savvy to be, on Zoom meetings or check WhatsApp messages. So that is one way. But by and large, I think most of the people under 50 today are, or even under 60 today are on mobile. So I think the best way forward is right now what you all are doing. Get them involved on Facebook. Facebook is where a lot of middle-aged people are there right now. Instagram is mostly middle-aged and youngsters. You'll get a lot of youngsters on Instagram, but there are a lot of middle-aged people, and even our parents' generation is, some of them are on Facebook. So again, those are ways you could reach out to people. I think what you guys are doing right now is pretty good.
Andrew, I think, yeah, what you're mentioning about Facebook is something we are not doing right now, because I introduced around 15, 20 people last time from Goa who became speakers for what is called as the GTF, the Global Transformation Festival, which was at the India level. Okay, so now these 15, 20 people, out of them, some of them were very active and they took lead and they added more people, and we, sort of connected with them through WhatsApp. So I'd like also to get the opinions of other people here that WhatsApp can be very draining, when you have 100 messages to see in a group, you usually don't see it. Right. So somehow, yeah, what you're suggesting about Facebook, we have to implement. Are there any groups, or what is the best way to reach people? Is it through groups or through friends, or how is it?
I think groups is the best way forward, then, and you're going to brand your group as that. Even if it's WhatsApp, make a dedicated WhatsApp group for this purpose and, invite people to it. So, you're not individually sending messages to people. And yes, WhatsApp can be draining, but then those who are serious, I think will stay in the group. Same goes for Facebook, actually. Those who are serious will stay.
Because Andrew, what I've observed is that earlier, when I used to send write-ups that I'm organizing, let's say VR1 or something, the newspapers would carry it, not on the main thing, but on the zest or, the additional things. Correct. But nowadays, I think even there, whatever comes up is either a paid thing or sponsored thing, like Times of India. I don't know. I think they're going with that model of, charging for every square inch of what they are publishing.
Yes. So there are like paid write-ups now, which I don't actually subscribe to, but this is what has happened. It's happening. You have paid write-ups in many papers. That is one way forward if you guys have the money, but otherwise you could, just approach some editor saying, I would like to feature. And yes, you all will come in these feature pages. You all will not make it to the main pages of the newspaper. This is something more of cultural, spiritual, which actually, like Zest or, Navin Times or Herald have these special, they're called supplement pages. So that's something where, you all will actually fit in. Don't try and make it to the main news. You all don't fit in there.
Definitely. I think social media seems to be the way forward. Yeah. And definitely, Andrew, we would like people like you. We would like people like Prajal Sakardande. We would like people like Varun Carvalho, people who are from Goa, to share more with us about Goa, about the land, about our ancestry and things like that. Because I consider the root chakra is very important. And yesterday I was sharing with Vasant, that going with his parents for Mahashivratri and all that is very good to the temples and discovering that heritage, because it strengthens the root chakra. And nothing can do it better than going to actually your roots, understanding your roots. So I think Goans are very lucky. We are very rooted. Even in this corona crisis, we could be in our roots, we could be in our motherland, and, we could be in a place where we can be held by our, in a place of our origins. We can be peacefully in the place of our origins. And that is something very beautiful we have as a gift, our roots. So I think people like you, guys like you, are young, energetic, and at the same time knowledgeable, have to educate us more and more about the Goan culture. there are a lot of misconceptions about the Goan culture, as you would know, outside Goa. So I think the more and more we educate, and it is also a spiritual process connecting to the roots, going back to the roots. So that is also a request. And I'm sure, guys like you should be part of our councils, maybe the councils meant for spirituality and media and things like that, So definitely we have a lot of people from spirituality and health, so I request Denise, or I request Amruta, or any of the healers. Ricardo is also with us. He's also a healer. So Ricardo, Daryl, Denise, is there something we can do in the health arena with regards to spirituality? If we can look in that direction also, definitely I think health is a big, concern area in Goa. Daryl is already doing a lot of work related to health. Yeah, Amrita, go ahead. We can't hear you, Amrita. Are you talking to us, Amrita?
Oh, sorry. Hello.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dr. Hegde, who joined us in the morning, he's already with the art of living, and he will have a good client base, who want to be in spirituality. If they all could connect, that would be a good database if you could help us.
Yeah, I think in terms of database, I think it's also a lot about, bringing together different people together. That's why we have Dr. Hegde from Art of Living. We have Nasir, who had joined us from Heartfulness. We have Datta Prasad connected with us, who is from Heartfulness. Yeah, Denise, thank you for joining us. Denise has to leave. Okay. So also we have, I think Ricardo is here. If Ricardo can connect us with Isha Yoga and things like that. So we can connect with all the different organizations, and they can also share their, ways, methods, and we can, connect with all kinds of people. That is what we intend to do, people from different paths coming together. And we would like to do that. So in this regard, if there are any suggestions related to health, related to youth and things like that, you guys can share. Varun Carvalho also is working a lot with the youth. So Varun, if you're there, you can share about youth and how we can move forward or things like that. Okay, so I think most of us have said what we had to say, and it's getting quite late also. So again, I would like to thank especially the organizing team, and I would like to thank all the speakers who joined. So our organizing team included Mrs. Meenakshi Suri, who is from Miami, Florida right now, but she also has a house in Goa. And she did a great job with the scheduling, with creating the panels and things like that. Entire 1 week she gave to that activity. Thank you, Meenakshi ji. Thank you to all the moderators, Talbot, Vasant, Denise, Ankita. Ankita did a great job with the design part. I think she had a lot on her plate. She completed all the designs of certificates, of online material. Everything was designed by her. So definitely we thank them, and big thank you to Vasant, who was instrumental in inviting some of the guests, and it was really something which he arranged in a very nice manner. And also we had a nice time doing this together, since Vasant is my neighbor. So we look forward to meet all of you, maybe in a more informal setup, where we can smile, where we can laugh, eat, enjoy ourselves a little bit. And that will also help us to connect more and understand what our essence is, because I think we are all on the same page, we are all on the same frequency, and we'll have a great time. I'm also thinking of doing something for Mahashivratri. Let's see if it's possible. Otherwise, definitely we'll see each other in the coming month or so. Again, thank you to all the speakers. Thank you to all the guests, Varun, Brahmanand, everyone who came. Definitely, we are very grateful to them. And with this, we'll wind up. If anyone wants to say something, add something, please go ahead.
Thank you to
Vasant, if
you,
you want to.
Floyd, for bringing everything together.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's my pleasure, Meenakshi ji. It was something which actually I was supposed to travel this month, but I decided to just stay back home and focus on this task at hand, and it was really well worth it, and it was something very big and something, and I think uh, it's going to be one of the best WoW summits. It's going to be a model for other WoW summits in India, I'm sure. So I'm sure this will be something which other people in India would like to replicate. Uh, well, is there any feedback from you, Vasant? You were there whole day observing the whole thing.
I would say, I mean, it was, to be really honest, it was fabulous. I enjoyed every bit of it, right from the inauguration till the end. I think all speakers, we have got gems, We have got people who really speak their heart. They are being vulnerable. They're kind of creating a safe space for themselves and for others. And I think that's a gift. So within a small period of time, if we could get those many speakers who really connected to this forum, I think we don't have to really worry about, as Dr. Yugandhar said, he is there with us. We really don't have to worry about. Just make sure that we make this our sadhana. Along with our regular sadhana, we make sure we connect physically as much as possible. If not online, definitely maybe twice a month, as Daryl said, because one of the days sometimes you miss out and the whole month goes. So maybe twice a month, meet only for half an hour, but meet. Keep your expectations small, but keep that continuity, and organically I feel things will come to the surface. They will manifest. That's how the whole nature works, we have to just give our awareness, give our love, and things will manifest. I truly feel that. And because I couldn't envision this when I attended the Global Transformation Festival. This is, if somebody told me this is going to happen today, I would say, come on, man, it cannot happen. I mean, I'm just saying, I believe that this would happen. But if you ask me logically, I would say, not sure. I don't know how Goan people are. People are relaxed. Carnival is happening, and all those. I can still hear the music, but I'm more happy with the music that I've been hearing from morning. So it's been a joyride, man. It's been fantastic. Great. You are a great facilitator, Floyd. I'm just not saying it. You are in the next room, but I truly mean it. And let's work together. I think we have got a great team. There is so much of good energy. I mean, it's fabulous. I'm just gonna savor. I just wanna savor this like a very good meal when you're very hungry. I'm just gonna savor each and every bit, and let's continue deepening our awakening with all.
Don't
Thank you.
remind us of meals because we've
Oh,
been
I
not
cook.
so.
I cook. So food is whole and soul for me. That's how.
Yeah. So Vasant has created the entire notes for each and every lecture. So I think we'll release an entire book, about the WoW Summit with all the notes. So,
Yes,
and he
I
has
do have
also,
quite
yeah, it's an entire, coverage of the day. So, Andrew, if you want to get it published, we can do it. At least it will cover one page of tomorrow's newspaper. And
Yeah, I'll be happy
thank
to
you,
share with
Andrew,
you,
for
and
joining us
whatever
for the
I could
validation.
gather. I'll be
And
very happy to share.
yes. Thank you, Vasant. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us. Thank you, Daryl, Talbot, Varun, Amrita, Ankita, and everyone who's watching us online. Thank you so much for joining us all day. And we are very grateful. And till the next event, I will see you. Cheers.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening. Bye.